Então eu vou jogar igual baiano, rapaziada.
Avec moi. Avec moi.
Mas ele é baiano,
Eu falo
pô.
mesmo, é. Como é que...
Avec
Não, aqui
moi.
tá
Perfect. I'm gonna go try it out.
humilhado.
Tava distraído na conversa.
Ooh, this is really
Mas é o
cute.
Vamos pra ganhar
How
agora?
nice to try this on.
Oh, actually, you can
Vocês
say
jogam esse round aí
je
que eu vou tirar um
mange
cochilo.
des gens.
Je mange
Sei lá
des gens.
agora.
Ok.
Mas ele pelo código
Já
fala, ele é baiano.
mange, já mange de mão.
Mas você não é full oriental, né?
Des gens mange.
Você foi banido.
Des gens.
Non, on mange pas les gens, c'est une robe.
C'est. Where am I messing
Vous
up?
voulez essayer la robe?
Ah. Je mange des gens, s'il vous plaît.
Non, on mange pas les gens chez moi.
Kitty has been the best teacher so far. I feel like I'm picking up the language really quickly. I mean, whenever I speak with real French people, they seem so surprised by how good my accent is. I'm doing très bon.
Oh là là, et puis ça y est, je suis américaine. On a compris que t'es américaine. On a compris.
Kitty, I did it! He even gave it to me for free.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Come with me, yeah.
What did I get? Do we get jam? Okay, so as I get it, the French don't really like the American tourists, right?
Not really.
So what can I say to have them truly embrace me as a local?
Just tell them.
Mbappé Plumer! Kitty, it worked! They've accepted me as one of their own! I'm off to see Paris and it's all thanks to you!
Bon débat.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC.
Vou colocar pra vocês aqui.
Gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with
Deixa
the
eu
world's
mutar
best.
esse mapa, esse negócio. Aqui, ó, dentro do jogo, né, dentro do que a gente tem, eles usam essa tática como uma das táticas principais do jogo. Deixa eu colocar, vocês estão vendo aí? Acho que sim, né? Vê aí que vocês estão vendo. Eu acho que vocês estão vendo. Então, né? Beleza. Tá vendo aqui que a gente tem esse tipo de tática. O que são essas táticas, né? O que tem de especial nessas táticas? Dentro do jogo, dentro do que a gente, quando as pessoas os prós vão jogar, a gente tem exatamente a porcentagem de uso deles, ó. 4-4-1-1 é o que eles mais usam. É a tática que eles mais utilizam. Deixa eu arrumar aqui a janela. Não, essa janela aqui é ruim, né, para vocês. Deixa eu tirar dessa janela, deixa eu aumentar aqui e colocar isso, capturar meu monitor. Aí agora vocês conseguem ver direitinho, né? Capturando meu monitor. Conseguem ver tranquilo. Beleza. Então, capturando meu monitor. A gente tem aqui, ó, 4-4-1-1. É a tática mais usada por eles. E aqui mostra a posição e a formação que eles estão utilizando esses jogadores. Tô vendo aqui na direitinha que aparece a quantidade de porcentagem de uso, tudo bonitinho. É exatamente isso que os jogadores estão usando, os prós estão usando. E aí tem os jogadores que os prós estão usando, que é aqui, ó. Os mais usados é atacante forward, não falso 9 nem nada, é um ataque mesmo, no formato de ataque. Os prós usam isso 83%, e é a Kika, o Cruyff, o Vini Júnior, a Cláudia Pina e o Ferran Torres, os mais utilizados dentro dessa tática. Depois, o LM, o Inside Forward, estão usando o Inside Forward. Os mais usados são o Gapo, o Ferran Torres, Paraluelo, eu vejo muito time usando a Paraluelo, o Sancho e o Simeone, mas a Paraluelo é o que eu mais vejo, uma das que eu mais vejo nessa posição. O RM, que é o outro lado, mas dois indo fazendo um inside forward por dentro, sendo um ala que corte para dentro. Aí aqui vem o Luqueback, que é um dos que eu mais vejo também dentro da partida, é o Luqueback, dentro desses times. Playmaker, CM, eu vejo muito Maradona, que é o Can, né, no caso, é o segundo atacante, meio atacante, o Can. Maradona direto, Vic Lopes pouco, foi mal, apertei. Vic Lopes pouco. Mas Maradona eu vejo muito. O Olisier eu vejo bastante, Putelhas mais ou menos, mas Maradona eu vejo muito. Agora, o box to box, que é o RM, os dois box, eles usam dois box to box. O RM, o RCM e o LCM. O Chaka, eu vejo muito do Chaka, bastante. E o De Bruyne. E o Bellingham, no caso, antes do De Bruyne, Bellingham e Chaka. É o que eu mais vejo. E aqui eu não vejo o Marcelo, que o Marcelo tá na comunidade, usa muito. Os prós usam mais o Davis e o O'Reilly. É os que eu mais vejo também. Tanto que tem dois tipos de O'Reilly que eles usam. Mas eles estão usando mais esse. E agora os defensores, né? Os dois defensores, os dois à frente. Muito Maldini. Eu vejo muito Maldini. E vejo o Araújo, o Laporte e o Rubem Dias, eles meio espalhados pelos jogos, pelos times. E laterais, tanto o lateral o RB quanto o LB, o Davis eu vejo bastante, né, que eu já tinha falado. Agora o RB eu tenho visto a maioria usando o Pubil. A grande maioria é o Mac Pubil, mas a grande maioria usando o Mac Pubil, tanto que no jogo que a gente viu agora estava o Pubil. E aqui é o Cacilhas, só que eu vi alguns jogadores já usando outros goleiros diferentes, tirando o Cacilhas e o Nai Simon. Vi outros já diferentes, então isso aí pode ser uma tendência que pode estar sendo mudada pelos pro players. Vamos lá assistir, bora. Janela. É a janela que eu quero passar para vocês. Isso. E o som, né?
You said to me, I mean, that Matty against Jafonso fixture, which is
É
coming a
isso.
little bit later, this is an individual competition, albeit these guys are competitors. They're winners, both of them.
Yeah.
How much thought is going to go into that? Because surely both players in that game are going to try and win, no matter what. And look, from a Man City esports perspective, they would like the results to, the players to be getting as many points as they can. But in this one, you just got to sit back and let them go at each other.
Yeah, of course, it's friendly competition. I think it's tough for the boys because they work all season together through all year. So you don't really want to play your team at any times. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. So these boys have to face each other. But luckily, it's in the group and league phases. And hopefully, they can avoid each other in the knockouts if they get past. But it's a big game for them both. And they want to try and, I guess, have the bragging rights of who's the number one at Man City.
Yeah, bragging rights indeed. Of course, Guga Faraz is also part of the Man City esports division as well. He's representing the team that he qualified with whilst being here. I mean, one thing that we've seen, Cookie, is the goals, the amount of goals. We can't say it enough. There are so many goals going in every single moment.
High-scoring games across the board, and we are just 2 sets in. Reminder, we are going to do 3 sets today. That is 3 matches on each stage, and of course, we have 3 days of this. So at the end, you mentioned you want to have at least 7 points, maybe 8 points after watching this opening round. Shells, what are we feeling?
Yeah, you can't really put a number on it, but I think 7 is a safe bet. I think if you got 8, you're definitely
good.
If you don't make it through with 8, I'm sorry, brother. That's not on me. But I think you can't really put a number on it. But 8 or 7, a safe
7.
one.
You reckon 7 points is getting you in that 24?
There's a few. There might be 1 or 2 7 that might not make it.
So what about top 8 then? Because that I mean,
Top 8's got to be double digits.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a very, very important aspect of it, which is the tiebreaker style, the head-to-heads and everything like that within this format. This is the best format in FC, in my opinion. We've seen it.
You like the format?
I absolutely love this format. I'm so glad that it's here at the World Championships. It's also nice to see tactically how the players sort of react to where they are in the leaderboards. Of course, everyone wants that top 8, but I mean, if you get in the top 8, you go into a round.
You're guaranteed top 16.
Yeah, you're guaranteed top 16. So prize money wise, you're happy, but you also have to play your first game against an opponent who's already had a game in the round before.
But didn't you play 6 games to get there? Isn't that enough?
I hear it, but on the day, Shells, you're better placed to answer this, right? On the day, would you rather have a first game to settle in, be confident, and then play against someone who's in the top 8? Of course, if you're playing the top 8 player, you're playing one of the best in the competition so far. Or would you rather be in that top 8, in that 16, and come up against someone who's warm, who's confident, who's just had a great win to get there? What are you thinking?
I'm a 50-50 man because I like.
Oh, I'm gonna sit on the fence. That's not allowed on my desk. I need a A or a B. Pick one.
Okay, hear me out. I think I would take the skip of the round just because it takes a lot of pressure.
Right.
But
I can prep for both people too.
But having the advantage of maybe winning the round before, it is a bit of an unfair advantage in a way. But I like to relax, so let me skip around, please.
Just take the prize money. You're happy.
I'm good, bro.
How much in this sport? How much are you guys prepping for your opponent? Are you purely playing your game? Because there's counter picks in other titles where you're making sure that your opponent can't play their perfect game.
Surely you've got to just prepare to score goals in this game.
Yeah. Speaking of scoring goals, I'm told our casters are ready to call some. The next round of games is ready. Take it away, gentlemen.
Yes, thank you very much, guys.
Rich, just one thing. Shells, how is that fence you're sitting on? How is it? How is it looking like? Come on, we're here to give predictions. Rich, I know you're a man of predictions. This Umit against MS Tasari, how is it looking for you?
It's just such a tough one because you don't know what to expect from Dossary. Obviously, you can talk about his accolades all day long. 2018 world champion, multiple time champion across the board. However, when it comes down to it, he's also the chairman of Team Falcons. He's also a very, very, very busy man. But he's still applying himself. He finished second in the ESPL Saudi Pro League title behind that man right there, Abu Maka, a once Falcon, now no longer. So if I were to give a prediction, I think Umit wins. However, I'm more intrigued to see what the King of the Jungle can offer us.
I agree 100%. I'm curious to see how MS Tasari is going to play in here, because I know, as you mentioned, being the CEO, being the chairman of Falcons.
Busy guy.
He's a busy guy, but I know he's been working with Javi Villar for a couple of years, but specifically for these last couple of months. So I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this FC Pro World Championship as well.
I'll tell you a little peek behind the curtain. Obviously, Team Falcons, this is almost their tournament. They've won it twice now. They are looking for the ultimate prize, the club championship, the top spot. There was maybe a conversation saying, you want to come on and maybe talk about that. How important is it that Team Falcons have a great representation in the FC Pro World Championships? I'm not the CEO of Team Falcons this week. I'm a player, was his answer. I think that shows maybe the mindset that we're going to get from Mr. MS Dossary. On the other side of the stage, you can't not talk about the 2022 world champion, Umit from RB Leipzig. When you talk about those best of all time debates, he's not really in that conversation, Umit, but he's right on the bubble. A title here maybe puts him towards the top of the tree.
He's not far away either, especially if you take into account the 2v2 and the 1v1. He's up there, but he's been suffering throughout the whole last 2 years, I would say, with
his first World Championships in a little while.
Yes. Even though he's playing good, he's not up to the caliber of GOAT material in the last couple of years. But we're on the way, Richard.
We certainly are. Umut will be kicking from left to right in the RB Leipzig strip, and from right to left, Team Falcons, MS Dossari. There's always a buzz when this man takes to the stage. A decade of brilliance.
Bom, aqui a gente tem exatamente o jogo da Team Falcons contra o Red Bull, né, no caso, que é o time do Umut.
MS Dossari is here to play as he opens up.
Vamos ver qual que é a formação tática que eles estão usando. Na minha visão, a grande maioria está usando o 4-4-1. Não tem mudanças tão drásticas assim na formação. Como eu falei, Cacilhas é o goleiro mais usado de todos. Parabuelo é o mais usado de todos.
Especially in Portugal, so I'm curious to see how Guga is going to perform in here, Paris, because it has been a great breakthrough year
Na
for him.
zaga estão usando muito o Laporte, igual estou vendo aqui, e o Rubio, McRubio, são os mais utilizados. Dentre de todos os times que a gente viu até agora, esses são os times, os jogadores que mais apareceram nas formações. Ó, mais ou menos pode ver um 4-4-1-1. O Raio aparece muito. Parabuelo de novo. E aí tem uma mudança. Muitos colocam a Parabuelo no ataque, como atacante, e outros colocam como ponta, na ponta esquerda. A diferença é isso. O Musiala vem sendo usado bastante, não tinha na fase principal, na fase de grupo, no qualificatório não tinha. Agora que apareceu. Ó, mais uma vez a gente pode ver o Ryan aparecendo bastante pela esquerda. Stan e Pátio, uma zaga diferente do que vem sendo utilizado. Dembélé, Rodri. O time do Umut é muito diferente do que vem sendo utilizado. Tanto que o Xhaka é o que mais aparece em todos os times. Ele está usando um dos únicos, e a Parabuelo, claro, ali na esquerda. O time dele é mais diferente. Pode ver que os demais times que a gente tem aqui vão aparecendo times com a formação parecida, mesmos jogadores. Ó, Musiala, o Ryan, Musiala de novo, roubou a bola do Xhaka. Musiala vai procurar alguém para tocar a bola, vai tocar lá pro Lamine Yamal, não tocou, Xhaka roubou a bola. Rodri, Xhaka, Parabuelo passando pelas costas do Yamal. O Ryan, Parabuelo, o Ryan de novo. Agora
let's see how everything turns up to be. As we see the replay coming in
eles estão
from
colocando o
Rodri.
replay do gol do Rodri, que foi do 1-1, gol do empate.
For Umut. Curious because
Parabuelo, Musiala achou a Kika. Kika é uma das jogadoras mais utilizadas nesse jogo. Yamal, pedido.
And Rodri was not a pick that I expected, to be fair. We see Emre Yilmaz making it 2-1 with Dembele, the 98 rated item.
Looks a bit frustrated, doesn't he, Emre Yilmaz there? Long ball over the top to find Saka. Now, the Granit Xhaka item that you mentioned brought into play. There is Roger with the 5 playstyle pluses, the path to glory.
Rodri, repara na marcação dele, tá 4 bem fechadinhos, 4.
Victory.
Mais 4 no meio. Golaço. Achou espaço na Kika. Esse espaço, esse lance foi questão de movimentação. Ele se movimentou, ele pôs o cursor no jogador e se movimentou. Nessa movimentação, ele achou o espaço.
We see that great chance by Jude Bellingham. Only 3 playstyle pluses, but they are still meta and they are still being used in here.
Araújo vem sendo utilizado por alguns, não grande maioria. Muito pelo McFuby no lugar do Araújo.
and then you have good stats as
Fica,
well, I do
saca.
think it's enough.
Achou para
Good
Buelo.
stats. In Salman's
Rodri.
case, the accelerate type, the body type, for example, all those sort of small details would outweigh. You would rather have 3 playstyle pluses that are incisive, finesse, and
Rapid, let's just say.
rapid, rather than 5 playstyle pluses, with 2 of those maybe being power shot and long throw, as MS Dosseri levels up the tie once again. Kika Nazareth, a name that if you didn't know, get to know.
You should, definitely. I mean, we were talking about the way DOS approaches the game, especially from 2018-19, and this was a great example. That was a counter-attack, attacking on the wing, an easy pass back, and the tap-in by Kika Nazareth. Similar explanation to Salma Parajuelo.
É isso. O Musiala vem sendo usado, mas esse não tinha na fase principal, na fase de grupos, no
So many different
classificatório.
items in the team here. You've got team of the seasons, path to glories.
Abaixo, tá abaixo.
Icons, heroes.
Oh.
You name it, they're featured. Here is Jude Bellingham. Dangerous inside the box. Cast your eyes to the bottom left corner there. Doesn't fall to him in the end. And a take-ahead goal from K1 John leads 2 goals to 1. Is that just offside there from Umut? A couple of centimetres too early.
Curious, because another narrative into this game is the use of the center backs, because on one side we do have Maldini and Araujo. Araujo is the most big center back in here at the FC Pro World Championships. On the other side we have Jab Stam, and I'm confident it's Upamecano, but I do think it's the position that's gonna change the most in here.
I mean, with you look at the fullbacks. A lot of people are using Mark Pubil in at right back.
Yeah.
Obviously, the play styles, the body type, the lengthy player that he is. I have also seen Araujo in at right back as well. Kika Nazareth just on side, twisting and turning, trying to get back on, but looks like Pacho there coming across.
It was William Pacho, not Upamecano, sorry. But it is a nice topic, Rich, because I do really like Araujo as a right back, even though offensively, as we just see this, great save by Casillas. I do think Araujo is great as a fullback, but I just don't really like
O que a gente tem que ver aqui para poder melhorar o nosso jogo ou trazer de positivo para o nosso jogo é a formação. Eles estão usando é 4-4-1-1. A gente pode gostar de outras, pode ter outros tipos de formação, mas essa é a formação que eles estão usando. Os grandes competidores estão usando. Então, não temos que mudar. Outro detalhe são os jogadores. Ó, a gente pode ver aqui, ó. Ele vai mudar, ó. Ele tem as táticas principais: 4-4-1-1 no kickoff, 4-4-1-1 no standard e 2 tipos diferentes de 4-4-1-1. Então, é isso que os caras estão utilizando. É isso que eles estão fazendo.
Chat, you let us know. Who's a player, 15 million coin budget, who is guaranteed to be in the team? Is it Johan Cruyff? Is it Pelé? Is it
Parabuelo, gol. 4-2.
As long as we go live here over the next 5 days, see the stats there at a quick glance. Possession in Umut's favour as he goes into this pause, leading 4 goals to 2. Let me talk to you very quickly as the chat comes in with some of those suggestions through the other matches that are taking place. Marwan and Brees 1-1 at this current moment. Ilian 2, K1 John 2. You've got Guga 4, Emre Yilmaz 3, and Paolo Neto and Cristobal. Can we go to that game if possible? Game 4, because there is goals galore in that matchup between Paolo Neto and Cristobal. It's 5-4 at the moment. Chris leading. While we just wait for this pause, let's jump into it in full and we can see how this match has taken place so far.
It is 2-2 to Ilian at the moment in this match against K1 John. I will say that Ilian for the last 2 years was one game away from qualifying to the World Championship. I don't know if you remember back in FC 24.
Yep.
At Dallas, he was just one game away from qualifying, and it was devastating to seeing him lose. Same at the Illigan finals last year. So I'm happy for him. I do feel like he deserves it, and
Que isso, cara?
I feel like he could be one of the dark horses in here in the tournament.
I'm sure if he makes it into a deep run in the tournament as well, those Parisian fans will make their way out for Ilian, representing Vitality and also PSG.
We have a comment on the Twitch chat as well, Richard, with 50 million budget, he has to be R9. I don't know about that. R9 this year.
Does it have the playstyles?
He doesn't really.
But we jump back into this game with a replay here. MS Dossery, 4-3 now. Lamine Yamal with a little toe poke of a finesse shot past the onrushing goalkeeper. As we're going to see the moment that put K1 John ahead here for Austin. Limits coming forward once again. We're on the
just down the byline, opening up the space here for Limit
with only one additional minute
for another 18 seconds.
Agora vamos voltar no lance.
Can MS Dossery go into the break?
O trade aqui, ok? Tá certo? A bola tá no trade.
No, he will not. As Emre Yilmaz levels the tie 4-4.
Tava muito alto. Primeiro tempo acabou. Araújo, Pache, Stan, Holder, Parabuelo, 4-1. De Bruyne, F. De Jong, Parabuelo, Bellingham. Comprou o Kika passando aqui batido. Errou o passe. Ó, o Macpúbio, Saliba. Reparem que eles têm sempre essa jogada pela lateral. Alguns fazem uma jogada mais direta pelo meio, porque faz parte daqueles jogadores que eles têm dentro do elenco, dentro do plantel. Mas olha a dificuldade de tirar a bola, mano, do cara. Sério. Saliba, Parabuelo, Odembele. Cara, esse de rosa tá jogando muito. O que me incomoda... Ui, quase. O que me incomoda dentro do FIFA é essa passadinha de perna, esse drible. Cara, não tem que ter isso, não devia existir. Tem que existir, mas desse jeito que é meio irreal, sabe? É meio inexistente, não existe isso no jogo de futebol real. Eles podem colocar, é um videogame, claro, mas, pô... Algo... Ai...
At the World Championships for a player of his quality, not quite been able to get into that quarter-final, semi-final stage. Could this be the tournament that he does go a couple of steps further, Graf?
It could be. Could be. I mean, you never know, especially with the tournament which is played during 5 days. I do feel like you could see the progression of the players throughout the whole week. I'm curious to see.
Maldini é um bom defensor, né? Bellingham, Dembele vai achar alguém para tocar a bola, tocou para Luelo, deixa lá, tava impedido.
I mean, it's quite obvious the question I'm going to ask from you. It's going to be on Sunday, right?
Tava impedido. Caraca, mano, tá vazando tudo. Tadinho.
just see this goal being scored by Chris Debord. It was a bit crappy, but it counted. Scrappy, sorry. I wanted to... That question was really good. I would say, in my opinion, I would say it's day 2. Rich, day 2.
Vamos ver aqui.
You could get it 6 points, and I feel like it's the right moment between playing good enough in the first day, which would make you get 1 point out of 6. Then you get 6 points. I feel like the pressure is off your shoulders on day 3.
It's all about managing that pressure, managing that momentum and confidence.
You never know. What would you say? Day 1, 3, 2?
5.
5.
Win the tournament.
That's you.
Yeah. I'm only here for one thing. FC Pro World Championship.
Right on.
1,000 Esports World Cup Club Championship points to an organisation as well. Straight from kickoff, Paolo Neto down the other end.
Paraluelo, Kika. Jala. Paraluelo. Difícil narrar assim. O que a gente tem aqui para ver, o que realmente é o importante para a gente ver aqui é o time. Como que eles colocam os jogadores dentro do time. Vou colocar aqui para vocês verem. Mais uma vez, outro time, outro tipo de jogo, porém no 4-4-1-1. Então eles estão usando muito esse 4-4-1-1. Reparem nos reservas. Os reservas dele não são desse cara aqui, desse time. Eles não têm a ver com aqueles principais que os jogadores estão usando. Eles são o que eles querem colocar, realmente o que eles querem colocar. Tanto que aqui, ó, 96, 99, 98, 98, 94.
Good mean 3 points. So I don't really get why players skip replays. They don't pause the game because I feel like that plays such a huge impact.
Bellingham tocou para trás, Mike pro Bill. Que isso? Meu Deus! O De Bruyne achou o Lukebak achou o Xhaka. O Xhaka vai querer tocar pro Dembélé, o Dembélé tocou pro Yamal, o Yamal indo por dentro, trocou de lugar com... Alguma coisa tá errada, esse Yamal tá indo por dentro, ele vai dar pause para ver o que é, ou não, quem vai dar pause é o Willian. O Yamal tá indo por dentro mesmo, deve ser alguma função que ele colocou dentro do jogo, na hora de fazer a tática que o Yamal vai para dentro, e vira ao meio. Sai da ponta e vai pro meio. Parabuelo, mano, essa Parabuelo é muito chata, bicho. Toda hora ela pega a bola, acerta esse chutezinho. Toca, vai tocar não? Tocou. Cadê o ataque? Meu Deus, cadê o ataque, Dembélé? Dembélé largou o ataque. É minha. Golaço. Cinco a 4, o jogo que a gente estava vendo logo no começo. 6 a 4.
Massive goal for
Ela é boa, realmente.
You were mentioning how those are the defining moments. 100% true, as we just see this goal by Nazareth with a decisive pass coming in from Dembélé.
Ó, eles ganharam uma garrafinha. Deixa eu colocar para vocês aqui uma
Pro Open didn't go his way. You look then at the E-League and a disappointing.
Vê se eu acho. Vê se eu tô com ele aberto aqui. Acho que eu não tô com ele aberto. Eu vou abrir aqui.
And coming into the World Championships last year, he wasn't a name that you were thinking he's going to make not only Championship Sunday, but make a run to the top two. He could do it again. There's nothing stopping him.
Aqui. Vê se vai dar pra fazer o que eu quero. Okay.
I feel like if he, let's just say he matches Nicholas again in a quarterfinal, Nicholas won't approach the game the same way he did.
Interagir com vocês aqui. Deixa eu quero colocar aqui, ó, no cantinho. Não sei se eu vou conseguir. Espera aí, deixa eu aumentar aqui. Aí, agora eu acho que eu vou conseguir colocar. Competition, decline. Eu quero pôr o resultado dos jogos. Pode ser isso aqui também.
Has scored the 8th goal of the match for him so far. I'm curious to see how DOS approaches the game with a 2-goal difference lose at the moment, because he's brilliant at second man pressing and pressing high up the pitch, but it's really hard against Umut because he'll trigger players and he'll go forward. So let's see who's able to prevail. I do feel like Dosari is going to score at least another goal. The question is, will Umut do the same, which could definitely do.
Absolutely. I was just looking there at just the ball in his games. At the E-Champions League, I don't know if you remember some of the matches that we saw from him. Just goals galore, 8-3, 9-6, 7-8. The year before at the E-Champions League. This year, again, just goals with Chris. But it's probably not the game you want to play, maybe against Paolo Neto.
Probably.
K1 John with a great block there from Ilian to stop a 5-3 lead. There's all the matches, there's the emotion starting to come out of the players as well, as they all know how important getting that opening 3 points, that opening start to the FC Pro World Championships really is.
Não dá pra fazer o que eu quero.
Mistake from Dossary. Punish off the line. Incredible. He pulled around. The veteran, the wily veteran. Keeping himself in the game. Have a look at this.
Replay.
Lovely build-up play once again from Umut, just probing and prodding Dossary on the edge of the box. And he looks like he could find his way in. Guga there with another goal between him and Emre Yilmaz. Jude into Kika Nazareth, great block.
Great block as well. The player switching first to the right back, then against centre back. That was great from the 2022 World Champ.
Those live updates cycling through on the right hand side of your screen. Alihan, Abu Maka 4-4 in their matchup. This is Cristobal and Paolo Neto. Cristobal does want to get involved in a goal scoring frenzy against Paolo Neto. 10-7.
Vou mostrar isso aqui, ó. Quero deixar aqui a classificação para nós temos. Pronto. Eu tenho a classificação do ladinho para ver quem tá em primeiro, quem tá em segundo.
Definitely has, as we see the replay coming in from Lionel Messi. Marwan to make it 5-4 in an all-French matchup. You can see the frustration building up from Brice. And this has to be it. This has to be the final chance.
Yeah, 2 goals in 3 minutes.
He needs to score in this, Rich.
And not only needs to score, Grab, but he needs to score pretty quickly as well. Pretty sharpish. Yamal, Paraleo finds the finesse. 6-5.
Paralelo. Ai, paralelo.
Can Umit hold on? There's black shirts flying forward. The team press activated. But with only 1 minute on the clock, you just don't know if he's going to get a chance.
The second man
There's no passes there for Umit. He gets away with it, threads the needle. And 3 points on the board.
Wow. Game management.
Perfect.
4-4-1-1.
But worked out.
Essa é a tática mais usada, não tem como não. Não vai fugir disso não, rapaziada. Pode procurar o que for, não vai fugir disso.
And 3 points for him. So we just jump over to this Alihan matchup.
What else are we seeing then across the games here? Ilian lost 4-3 to K1 John. At 6, Abu Maka, MS Dossary 5 as Abu Maka, we see on the screen right here. Embroiled in action. 4-4 at this current moment. That was the goal that we just seen a replay from them. And once the game's back underway with live action, we will join it. As for Emre Yilmaz and Guga, 8-7, Guga leads.
Wow. I don't think we've seen Emre Yilmaz dropping many points at a league table.
Not at all.
No.
He's usually top of the pile. 15 out of 15, 18 out of 18, 24 out of 24, whatever sort of group phase you want to call it, whatever league stage you want to call it, whatever it is, he's usually at the top. As you said, Grav, 2 players that did compete in the E-Liga Championships this season. As for Marwan, he was victorious, lifting that trophy aloft with AS Monaco. Brice turns the corner. Benitez, what a save! What a save! And even as credible as that save is, it should have been a goal.
Ué, o que tá passando aqui no fundo?
Was maybe the lack of the playstyle plus from Fiamma Benitez, but I thought it was a goal, Rich.
Playing for the last attack here now is Brice. Has he gone just a second or 2 too early though, Grav?
Maybe. Because we know how Brice likes to play the game, so he'll comfortably pass it on the back. He'll invite pressure, but he knows when it's time to go, he'll go forward.
But the white shirts are edging forward. 2 additional minutes. I don't know if there's a way out for him here.
Not sure.
Marwan trying to step on him. Trying to limit the space, limit the passing options.
It's gotta be now.
And he has just got out to the halfway line here, Brice. That ball does turn over, but it turns over the Parisians' way. The game will just, unfortunately for us, and unfortunately for Brice.
Cara, é ruim pros dois isso, porque é 1 ponto só pros dois em uma quantidade muito grande de pessoas, pô. É ruim, vai ser ruim pros dois esse empate, não é bom pra ninguém, pô. Ruim entre aspas, né? Vai ser bom porque não é um ponto cada um, vão estar lá brigando, mas é ruim porque deixar de ganhar esses 3 pontos é muito importante, cara.
That's curious. Jude Bellingham, 34 stamina, not so tough.
High depth.
Probably with the constant press on as well. Ugh, it's a tough situation now.
We've seen Abu Bakr the last couple of years when we've been over in Riyadh as well. That crowd give him that extra buzz.
Yes.
He's slightly more subdued here.
Yes.
In Paris. Do you feel as though that may play an impact, or maybe the pressure's off him a little bit, not being in front of his hometown fans?
It'll definitely play a huge impact. I feel like in last year in the group stage, it benefited him, but then on the knockouts, felt like the pressure got to him. So I'm curious to see if it's gonna go the other way if he's able to make it into the top 24.
I remember the FC Pro Open. Whenever we would watch Abu Bakr, sometimes you just gotta sit back and go, wow. Some of the combination play, the passing, the intelligence. He was one of the first players to incorporate the chip in as well. It was so smooth, it was so slick. If he can start to replicate that, there's no stopping him this week.
No.
Ó o gol. O gol de empate. Gol de empate.
Inside the final third, one of the most clinical players we have. A finesse shot at every opportunity, it would seem, for Alihan. And he will probably be looking at this season thinking, maybe there should be a title to my name, E-Champions League, VBL. Just fell short on 2 occasions. Abu Bakr at the near post. Casillas dives across his goal. A spring in the step.
I thought I was going in, Rich. Sorry.
Short corner played here. It's a very, very slow recycle of possession. Those live updates coming through at the side of the screen. Full-time results.
Oh, what a pass.
Pinged over to Saka, and he will get himself a corner. Would you like to see a different variation on this?
I thought so. Maybe trying to be a bit more direct, but he's going for the same one.
You don't want Musiala back there as well as the last man, do you?
That's a risky choice, as you say.
He's just lost possession there, and Musiala is going to be called into defending. As Alihan comes forward, there is Alihan's Jamal Musiala in the offensive area of the pitch, linking up with Kika Nazareth.
Ui, quase. Quase faz o gol para sacramentar o jogo. Agora é hora do Abu Bakr fazer o dele. É o último ataque. Depende do juiz, vai dar para mais 2 ataques, um ataque cada um, talvez. Não vai dar não, é o último ataque. Ou faz agora ou acaba empatado esse jogo. Ou é agora ou acaba empatado. Ou é agora ou acaba empatado. Gol. Caraca. É esse golzinho que acaba com qualquer jogador, bicho. É o golzinho do final. É o golzinho de... Meu amigo, não era pra você ter perdido aquele gol lá, não. Já era. É. É isso, rapaziada. O que nós tivemos aqui até o momento foi todos os jogos da rodada 1. Depois nós teremos ainda os jogos da rodada 2 em diante. Esses foram os últimos jogos da rodada 1. Deixa eu mostrar para vocês o que eu tô vendo aqui, ó. Aqui, ó. Esse daqui foram os últimos jogos da rodada 1. E agora a gente tá indo pra rodada 2. A rodada 2 vai ser daqui em diante, ó. Vai começar às 2h30 até a rodada 2 acabar, que vai ser às 4h10. E aí acaba a rodada 2. 4h10. É isso que vai ter hoje. Das 2h30 até umas... vai começar daqui a pouquinho, né? No caso. Aqui. Depois do playoff vai ter o round 24, né? Os 24 melhores. E depois... Então, aqui vão ter 24, 1, 2, 3, 4. 16 jogadores aqui. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16 jogadores aqui. Mais 16 aqui. Desses 16 vão passar para cá. Porque aqui vai entrar os outros jogadores, né? No caso, aqui vai sair um, aqui vai sair um. Esse contra esse, depois esse contra o vencedor desse. E aí vem para cá. Os vencedores desse quadrangular vêm para cá, né? O vencedor desse vem para cá, depois o vencedor desses quatro, né? No caso, 2, 2 vem para cá, depois esses 2, 2 vem para cá, 2, 2 para cá, e assim vai. Então, é isso.
Of course, I feel great to be back. I know I also deserved to be on this stage. It's the biggest tournament of the year. I mean, everyone prepares just for this tournament. Also, the tournament with the most prize money, so everyone is just hyping up for that. I'm happy to be again here and give my best to win it.
All right, let's talk about that first match that you had. It was two previous world champions, 2022 versus 2018. You went up against MS Dossery. I mean, it was quite the close matchup. How are you feeling in that one?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a really tough matchup. It was 50-50. It also could go another way. Yeah, I didn't play it that good, to be honest. I think he also didn't play his peak, so we both was struggling a little bit. At the end, I managed to win. I also did a little bit of time wasting. In the end, I played good then, but overall, it was like a really tough match, a good opponent, and yeah.
Well, you have one match done today, one more to go. Next round is up against K1 John. We saw him play over in EMLS this year, so how are you feeling going into that matchup?
Yeah, I played also in previous years a lot against K1 John. I know a bit about his level. I mean, he's really, really good. So it will be really, really tough. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the match. I know he's good, but I also know I'm good. So we're going to see how the match will end.
Awesome, Umit. It's so great to have you back here at the World Championships. I'll let you get back to it, get to those preparations. I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Case, and congratulations to Umit. A big matchup there. 2022 World Champ going up against the Falcons 2018 World Champion. Dossery close, but Falcons not going to score in this round. Thoughts on what we just witnessed?
Yeah, I think for the first game for both players, I think for Umit, he would favor that matchup against Doss, but I think with Doss, you can never really count him out. We don't really get to see him as much in action as we used to, but every time he does get to these events, he does show that he's still got it. It's a tough loss for him first game on, but he still has a lot to prove for himself.
FG, as we take a look at some of the results, how do you finish with a draw after starting up 5-0?
Listen, I'm the king of that. I'll probably lose from that position. So, look, the beauty of this format, like we said, is we are in the league stage. Players will go a bit more gung-ho because, you know, when they've got the lead, they can just try and get as many goals as they can, and your opposition is going to score against you. The result that's standing out to me there is Guga Faraz against Emre Yilmaz. 8-7. Emre Yilmaz, by the way, FC Pro runner-up, EWC champion. He's won the ECL twice. Albeit it wasn't his best tournament this year, but that result for Guga is massive, and that is a player that, you know, we have to keep an eye on throughout this week, Shells, because he's on absolute fire.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see his highlights in a moment. Gentlemen, walk me through the goals on screen.
Yeah, as you can see, he got a short corner, plays it short. Short corners are really effective. You can see the finesse shot being used when you get around the box. Lucky to get the rebound for there, but going forward, we know he causes a lot of chaos. And to stop his through balls, as a clearance off the line there from Dossi to keep him in the game wasn't there enough. And we move over to this game of Paolo Neto, Chris the Ball. Two Team Liquid players going at it. This was a good game as well.
Highest scorer, too, of the round.
Yeah, great game. Great result for Chris the Ball, to be honest. I mean, both players will be feeling confident. Paolo Neto, of course, he knows he's got more games to go in this league stage. We're seeing goals. That's a finish and a half. This one as well, Shells. K1 John coming out on top in this game. He's got Umut next.
Yeah, K1 John, he had a disappointing finish at the EMLS. I know he was looking to win that all, but lost to Redlac there, who's also at this tournament. But to beat Ilian first game, who once again, going forward, Ilian Bucci with the player locks, he is so tricky to defend against. And the first game on is a great win for K1 John in this one.
Yeah, a lot of confidence to be taken for that. And then that game we were just saying, this finished 8-7 to Guga Faraz. Many people would have backed Emre Yilmaz. We spoke about it. He's the one who's gone through league formats and been unbeaten before in tournaments. Well, not today, but he won't be worried though, because this man is an absolute veteran of the scene, one of the best players around. He'll be confident. Won't he?
With the Team Liquid boys, they're so mentally strong. I think, well, Emre Yilmaz, of course, we expect him to be winning every game he plays, but I'm sure he's completely fine. Of course, he's lost his first game of the day. He ain't stressing too much. I'm pretty sure we'll still be seeing his name through the knockouts.
Yeah, of course. And this was a massive result.
Banger.
For our Saudi League champion, Abu Maka. A huge victory against Alian Lion. This one was 5-all in the old French affair. We saw Marwan, he seemed quite disappointed. He's a champion. He's an E-League champion at the moment. He's a current champion. He's used to winning. This is 5-all. He was disappointed in this game, but what a game. What a result for the neutral to be able to watch 10 goals. It was just on his even.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Marwan straight away after the game. He just walked off. He looked livid. First game on, but it shows what it means to the players. Every round matters. And he played against his fellow countryman and didn't manage to get the win, but of course, we'll take a point. You can see Abu Maka scoring 90th minute there. Would love to have heard the Saudi crowd behind him in that moment there.
Update here of who has scored 3 points per win, and we are halfway through day number 1. We've got 3 more matches loading up, and as you take a look, you mentioned some of the big surprises. Who do we expect on that right side of the screen to start scoring now, FG?
I mean, I see Emre Yilmaz. I don't see him being on 0 points for long. I think Jafonso as well. I mean, there's a lot of players there who are on 0 points, to be quite honest with you, who will be scoring. I'll be very surprised, and I can almost guarantee all of our players will get points throughout this league stage. Listen, it might be famous last words, but we are watching the best esports players in the world here at the FC Pro World Championships. But one thing I will say, I have to take it back as well. Jafonso, he lost his first game. He's going up against Matty in the next round. 2 teammates.
Yes.
I mean, that's going to be an interesting one, isn't it?
Shells, we got to take a look here at our next round of matches. We have 6 more taking place across our stages. And, of course, we've got big names all week long. Who's the scariest one of this round? Who do you want our cameramen to zoom in on?
Oh, I'm seeing a few games. I'm seeing the Italian affair between Obrad and Samu Game. I think that's a great matchup. I have to say Danny Pitbull versus Nasada. I think this is the strongest matchup.
Danny just lost as well, so a lot of pressure.
But Danny Pitbull, he's such a great fundamental player, but I think playing against a player like Nasada, listen, Danny Pitbull, you got to bring your A game. But there's a lot of great matchups. Everything against Karim as well.
I've got to say as well, this Oberon game against Samu Game, that is a massive game from Oberon's perspective.
Samu just won.
The start that Oberon had, he wouldn't have expected potentially to be in this position. Samu Gamer looked absolutely impeccable in his first game. He'll be full of confidence. The beauty of this format is all of our players know that they're at the point. I mean, if you've lost the first game, Shells, you've been a competitor before. There is a little bit more pressure, isn't there?
In a way, yes and no, because I feel like once you lose the first, depending on how you lose, because you kind of can get the nerves out, but of course you want to get the win as soon as possible, but it can start to creep up because you know the rounds get less and less.
Looks like our players are just about ready to go, and I know our casters definitely are. We send it on over to 2 very handsome gentlemen. B. Smith, take it away.
Thank you so much, Chris. Yes, we are ready to technically kick on with the second part of the first day of action here. This is, of course, the commencing part of round 2. Everyone's played one game on this stage in Paris. They've had different times and different matchups to play. The interesting thing about this format, Ryan, is that you already know the 6 players you're playing. This isn't Swiss, this isn't form-based. If you start well, you play against someone else that's won their game. You already know your 6 matchups for a ball's being kicked here.
I think that's vital, and I think for a lot of these players, they will start to, even though you would try to take each game as it comes, but realistically as a player, I've been there as well, you will look at those matchups and think, where are you likely to get points from? And where are those games that you think it might be a little bit too hard, or it's a very difficult game to overcome. And I think for some of these players now, especially when you've got 0 points on the board, you really want to end today with something.
Absolutely. I mean, look, looking across the board, it's some of the games we've got. Chat, get involved in this as well. Which game you want to see? Oberon against Samu Gamer. It's the 2 Italians going head-to-head. Redlac looking for a win after that defeat against Anders Vergang. Takes on Kachi. Just saw him a second ago. Danny Pitbull, Nasada playing in his first World Championship. Levy Finn against Karim is back. And then, as we said, Virgil Neat, Hezers, and PH in. There he is now. You cannot forget, once upon a time, an FC Pro Open champion. I mean, where do you start looking here, Ryan? There are 6 amazing games, and the best part is we can provide you with all the action across all of them.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that Oberon-Samu Gamer matchup. I think that's an interesting one. Samu Gamer sitting top as it stands, obviously the highest goal difference, and obviously winning his first game. Oberon, however,
he had a good World Championship last year as well, Samu Gamer.
Samu Gamer was great last year. Champions League as well. He's a very, very efficient player going forward. I think for Oberon as well, I expected a lot from that first game against Milkalov, who was really, really good in that game. And I think especially coming through the last chance qualifier and the play-ins, Oberon would have a lot of expectation to do better.
Believe it or not, the only players in this round that have never faced before is actually Oberon against Samu Gamer. The 2 Italians, believe it or not, have not had a game on a competitive level. Now they match here in the FC Pro World Championships as Musiala gets Nasada underway. And how often are we going to say that? Nasada scoring goals, no matter if it's in Germany, London, or here in Paris. He's back on the score sheet once again.
Yeah, he's probably my favorite player to watch in terms of entertainment value. You know that you're going to be involved in a game where he scores a lot of goals. He's one of the few players that does take shots from some obscure angles that you may not expect traditional goals to go in from. Like there, I know a lot of people maybe would have opted for something different, but I like the way he goes forward.
Do you think he's so successful though, Ryan, because he doesn't mind taking so many risks, right?
100%. That plays a factor, and I think for some people it's very easy, even from rivals at home online, you're scared to take a risk. He's able to take those risks against the best players in the world where the stakes are the highest, and I think if he's able to have that confidence, he can definitely go really far this year.
Well, this is where we're going to kick off then. Nasada against Danny Pitbull. Remember, if you're not following the FC Pro World Championships here, it's 36 players that are all battling out to be in the top 24. That's by Friday night, late evening here in Paris. If you get through there, then you're in the knockout stages. But you can make your life so much easier, Ryan, can't? If you just place in the top 16 or the top 8, it becomes an easier road.
100% on paper, that is. But I think Anders put it perfectly. I keep referring back to his interview at the start with Casey. Is that sometimes it's down to luck in a way. Like you could finish top, and let's say your game is going to be between the winner of Emre Yilmaz and Levi David, for example. It could just be down to luck with the way the bracket pans out. But obviously, as a player, you want to do the best you possibly can.
Update. Goal. Or should I say goals for Katja, who leads by 2 goals. There could be another goal over here as well, which there will be. I mean, there's a lot of them in Paris, but the Italians are all scoring goals. Danny Pitbull equalises against Nasada. And Katja, as it stands, is looking very confident over there. 2-0 he leads against Redlac. In the other games as well, Karim is back, leads against Levy Finn by 1-0. Virgil Neat is 0-0. And the other 2 games of this round, Ryan, haven't kicked off as of yet.
Yeah, Katja 2-0 up against Redlac. Both players coming into this game losing their opening round. Obviously, Anders defeated Redlac, and for Katja, he lost against Banana. This was the equaliser for Danny Pitbull, just playing it back across and quick, snappy passing with a bit of fortune there as well to get it past the defender. But it is very important for both Redlac and Katja to get I want to say a win on the board. I know a point isn't bad after 2 games, but I think getting 3 points is relief more so than anything else.
Well, off the back of the draft information we got, Ryan, of the the 36 players. Wow. A brilliant ball through. McTominay. Danny Pitbull leads by 2 goals to 1. But the key takeaways they got from the 36 players that drafted their side. This is the most common 11 players. And if you're a casual player at home and you want to take a thing or two from these best players in the world, yes, they had a 15 million coin budget. Musiala so close to making that 2-2. Casillas in goal. We saw him at the last chance qualifier, how good he has been. A back four that looks like this. Nick O'Reilly at left back. It's normally a centre-back partnership of Maldini and Araujo. Pubil in at right back. Salma out on the left. Bellingham and McTominay. That seems to be the double up there. Maybe not Frankie de Jong. Saka on the right. Dembele just in the number 10. And Kike Nazarev is leading the line. That is the most common starting 11 across the 36.
Yeah, there's quite a few positions which I would say are staples that you're most likely going to see Araujo in the team. Jude Bellingham's in a lot of them as well. This was the equaliser for Nasada, and you would have seen Virgil as well scoring in his game. I think there's a lot of variation at left back.
Araujo, centre back or right back for you?
Centre back. For sure. I think Pubil would be right back. I think the play styles and also obviously being lengthy is very important when defending.
Because that seems to be the debate, doesn't it? It's about the lengthy battle between Salma and Pubil potentially, right?
Ultimately, at this stage of the game, you're basically selecting your players based on their acceleration type and also the play styles. So quickly jumping over here to see Levy Finn equalising 20 minutes in against Krimis. Back a little shake of the head there.
Chance, Dembele! How has he not scored the 1 or 2 chances that the Sardis had? Corner played short. Something else on top of that, Ryan, is, I mean, the play styles are one thing, the lengthy debate's the other, but Salma's just faster than Pubil.
Yeah.
I think it's 91 pace against 98 or 99 pace. It's, you know, so often Salma's still going to win that battle.
Even, that's a good bit of defending at the end there, even with the acceleration on the ball, with the analog sprint with Salma, she is so quick. And I think in that situation, it's going to be hard to find anyone that's going to be able to keep up with her. We got a free kick here from Nasada in shooting range.
How about this then? Sancho! Bang! Forward in, no goal line technology needed there. I mean, if you get a free kick in the right area, Ryan Passar, we say they're as good as a penalty. We said that for a few years now. And even with a player on the line, no one could stop that finish from Sancho.
Incredible free kick, and that's the thing with Nasada. He's got so many ways to score. You see the replay of it, incredible.
Danny Pitbull confused how that has gone in.
Look at the runners here.
Dembele, McTominay. Is this when Nasada starts to let rip in the final third? Well, shall we jump elsewhere? Because all 6 games are now underway. Musiala finesse. Update here. This was the second goal for Levy Finn. We joined it as we went 2-1 up. But the goals did not stop there. Levy Finn gets another. How impressed have you been by Levy Finn? Because we didn't see a good Levy Finn at the virtual Bundesliga by his own standards. He, of course, was the defending champion from winning the competition before. He goes away for X amount of months and comes back and fights for his ticket to be at the World Championships.
Yeah, I'm a massive fan of Levy Finn. Watched him a lot this season, and I respect his mentality and also the fact that he had to push through lanes to get his spot here. He started off really well against Pietzing, getting 3 points on the board, and he's in a tough game against Krim, but if he's able to end today 6 points out of a possible 6, it would be an incredible return.
Yeah, Karim is back. I mean, it's about time he made a World Championship. The amount of times he's been so close. Brilliant ball. There's that finesse. Did he take it too early? Maybe he could have had an extra. Couple of touches there.
I think he was worried about the keeper coming out, and then he slowed down a little bit, but the keeper didn't actually end up covering that much ground.
I mean, you leave day one, Ryan. You don't want to be leaving with 0 points. I know you've still got 4 more games, and I know you've still got 2 more days of competition to look back on. But just a win, it just does something, doesn't it, for you mentally?
It's confidence. And as I said, as you said as well just then, to see quickly bottom left of your screen, that was a goal as well from Katia there, but that opportunity bottom left from Levyfin could have made it 4-2, but didn't. Yeah, ending the day with 0 points, it's far from over. You could argue you'd need a lot to go in your favour to get top 8 if that was the aim anyway. You'd have to win all 4 games and hope that other people drop points around you, but ultimately, if you're aiming to get into that top 24, probably, what, 7 points we've seen in the Champions League earlier on this season was enough.
There's a penalty in one of the other games, by the way, and it's gone to the penalty king that knows a thing or two about scoring from the spot here in Paris. That's Neat that's got a penalty. He has just scored. He's trailing in that game still. 3-1 against Virgil. We'll give you some updates around the grounds. Catcher, 4-1. He leads against Redlac as it stands. Hezes has broken the deadlock against PH in 25 minutes in that game. He leads by a goal still. This was the goal that we were speaking about. He went for a Panenka down the middle. Remember his story. He beat Tex to get here to the World Championships. Oberon against Samu Gamers, a game that we haven't really spoken too much about.
Talk to me, Brandon.
There has been another goal in the game, and I believe a Samu Gamer could be leading Oberon by 2-1. Kind of feels like the old guard versus the new guard there, of 2 Italians that have both been in the competition and in various World Championships. Samu Gamer playing in his 2nd world title. Added time here of 1 minute, and that will do us. Shall we go elsewhere, Ryan?
Let's do it.
Let's jump to another game live if we can. There's all 6 games in front of us. I mean, we don't mind where we go. We could go to PH and we could go to Catcher. Even Oberon against Samu Gamer that's coming back at the bottom of the middle. 3-1 Samu Gamer leads there now. We left him at 2-0 up. Catcher looks to be heading into half-time, Ryan, with a 3-goal cushion here.
Yeah, Catcher is a very difficult player to play against, especially when he's coming into this on form. Recently qualifying there through the play-ins. We'll take a look at a goal from Neat to make it 3-2 just before half-time. You'd have just seen, of course, beforehand he had that penalty where he went down the middle. And for Redlac, he's having a tough time so far.
Yeah, remember his first game against Anders. Never a nice welcome, is it, to the World Championships, if that's your first game. What else have we got to take a look at around the grounds? We can still see Hezes leading against PH in. Neat has pulled another goal back in that game. That's added time now. 1 minute, there's been another goal in it. Virgil has just gone 4-2 up at the break. We'll check in with this one for a second, though. And Hezes is one of those players, Ryan. He's just a couple of wins away from...
He always is.
I mean, you forget how many times he's been in the latter stages of an E-Champions League as PH in. He's stopped by Ika Casillas.
I rate Hezes very, very highly, and I think he's worked a lot with coaches to sort of refine his defensive capabilities and just the way he controls games, because going forward, there's not really many better. He scores goals at will.
I think this is the most I've ever seen him work with a coach. Of course, he signed with Ninjas in Pyjamas, who are, again, going for those club championship points.
You can tell the difference, though, because if you look at his gameplay now compared to even a year ago, year and a half, it's a drastic difference.
PH in. Can he angle up that finisher? That's what he's looking for, potentially. Jude Bellingham delays and tries to tease Hezes into a trap. There was an update in our featured game. And it's a 4th goal for Nasada. 4-2. That's the standings as it looks right now. I mean, Ryan, on that top 8, give me 4 names you expect to be in that top 8 come Friday.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
I think some of them are already in there.
Block. I'm going to go with Anders, Nasada, Manu. Brandon, you've got, I don't, honestly, I don't. It could go on, it could be... Emre. Even though he's lost his first game, I'm still backing Emre. Nicholas potentially, and I think there's so many names, it's really hard to call. I'm looking at the names right there, all 36. And even players with 0 points or 1 point, they could easily still get top 8.
I mean, chat, you tell us. You can see very clearly 12 players will be eliminated on Friday night here in Paris. 24 go through to the next stage. If you're in the top 16 or the top 8, your journey to lifting the newly named Diogo Jota FC Pro World Championship trophy becomes a little bit easier. By the way, chat, I can still see messages coming through. Mystery Nation. If you got any more guesses, bring them in. I don't think you give us a clue, Ryan.
Do you want a clue? I'm worried I'd give it away.
Well, a big clue is they haven't got an icon on the game this nation. They haven't got a hero on the game this nation.
They've got representation here.
They have got. They've got 3 players here.
Yep.
And a big hint, 2 of their players actually won the French League One. So if you know where those players are from, that might help you on your way. Keep your guesses coming through on that Mystery Nation as Nasada. He's on his hunt for a 4th goal. Update there. Karim is back. Well, that's the player that we were just speaking about, the one the French League One. Maldini, what are you doing that far up the pitch? It's not France. That would have been a given if he had said France. It's not Belgium. Also, chat, let us know the predictions. Who do you think will become FC Pro World Champion this year? Will it be a new name on the trophy? Will Manu lift it for a 3rd time? Anders for a 2nd time? Will Nicholas win a World Championship for the 1st ever time? The debate will be going on across the next few days here in Paris. There's that finesse from Saka. It all became a little bit too trademark. And a bit too obvious there in the final third, but he just about did enough, Danny Beardball.
Yeah, he's on as well. Beautiful bit of play here.
Is there a pass? Luca Bacchio, no, there's a finesse. "4-4. Surprise, surprise, these two have just pulled the game back square again.
I think Nasada's frustrated there. Defensively, it looked all too easy there. Had a lot of opportunities to push forward and create that space for the through ball. However, down the other end, Nasada's getting into those offensive areas quite frequently. It's just about whether or not he's going to take the opportunity to score. This game, Hez is leading 2-1. This puts Hez on 6 points as it stands. Pietzin on 0.
That table will keep on updating, by the way. We'll try and do our best to